They think it's something new.
Oh, is this an attempt to get around the debt ceiling?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That idea was floated around over 40 years ago. And you know why it didn't get put into place?
No, I don't recall.
Because it wouldn't work then, and it won't work now.
Oh. Yeah, that whole story kind of faded out, the debt ceiling. I mean, now I think they're saying in the summer we're going to have a problem. Does it really take 3 months for it to be a problem?
I don't think so.
Now the CW guys are jamming each other.
Yeah. They don't understand. The value of a coin is based on the intrinsic value of the metal that it's minted from.
Yeah, F you, Joe. I got it. But that's, come on, speed it up a little bit. Roger, on the commies. Oh, that's normal.
Why aren't they all in church?
I think all institutions have been weakened. All institutions have been weakened, and churches will be no different.
Yeah, case in point, I went to a Methodist church the other day that has a thrift sale in the basement. They had this huge facility, but now most of what they were using in classrooms is just because they don't have enough people anymore. It's dying.
Yeah.
The main building had broken out windows and was boarded up in some places. And I think, like whenever they built that place, probably back, around the turn of the 20th century. My God. There was all kinds of money coming in there to maintain that place.
Where was this?
But I think whenever John Lennon declared God dead, I think that did it. I think that was the one thing that did it.
God is dead. God is dead, guys. Over.
Yeah, copy that. The New York Times said it too. At least the gospel according to Elton John.
Did somebody say that God is dead? Did I hear that correctly?
Not my words, folks. Not my words.
Yeah, the liberals said it. Liberals, those damn liberals.
Well, I mean, it is true after all. I mean, he died for our sins.
Yeah, that damn bunch of liberals.
God's dead in their own hearts, and it's going to be to their own detriment. W5MI.
Those atheist liberals are everywhere.
All right, guys. Get your ass to the church.
No, you can't come out here and claiming that you don't believe in God. We don't want to hear that.
You mean you don't go early?
No, I don't claim. I don't claim.
Well, I mean, you know who you are. You know who you are.
Yeah.
I wish I did have an
Delusion,
earlier
man. You can
channel, 'cause I'm
delude
up
yourself
at
a million ways. It's no different than anything else.
I guess the point I want to make is if you don't believe in the Lord, then You can thank the Lord for that, because without Him, you would have no disbelief.
I think that's called a circular argument. So why aren't you in church? Why aren't you in church?
You don't have to go to church to believe in the Lord.
Get your rear end into church.
Only I believe, yes, that's before
no kidding.
Very hot.
This is a free country. It's a free country, but if you tell some of these people that you don't go to church or you don't believe, they just turn on you. This isn't a Christian country. Just don't ever believe that BS.
It was founded by Christian principles and ethics.
No, you're wrong about that.
Written in the same.
And in the end times, people will come as false prophets and non-believers.
He's waiting for him. No harm to my neighbor to say there's 20 gods and no God. It neither kicks my pocket nor breaks my leg.
There you go. There you go. Very good, Keith. Very good.
And it's up to them to accept it or deny it.
It neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg.
W5 mentally incompetent, would you please shut the hell up?
Weenie little voice out there has like this raising that something the table guy.
Mike is Joe's God. Joe, are you ready to be somebody's deity? If you're somebody's God.
Are you ready to offer something positive to the conversation? All you do is bitch.
Yes. Am I? All you do is complain. I cleaned it up a
I
little
was
bit.
not complaining, and I wasn't bitching. The one who's bitching is that little girly man out there with that little weenie voice.
How do you know I'm little?
Yeah, I like his voice.
Well, your voice pretty much reflects your size.
He's
You
got
wanna
a
see
very
my size?
clear speaking voice. It's a good radio voice.
Well, there's one quick way of finding out. You know my address. Come on down.
There we go.
I'm visiting you today, Mike, but thank you.
I blame the person in church.
Maybe I could catch a ride with Jamie.
Whoa. That's too early for that.
Can we get back to the coin issue?
I thought we should focus on the debt limit. How come they haven't shut off the Social Security checks? Listen, how come they haven't started kicking old folks out of hospitals? I mean, that's how you're going to cut costs.
No, we need to stop sending money overseas.
That's small compared to all the... Small compared to Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, defense spending. Those are the big hitters.
I know, but those were already paid for by the people who are collecting. They paid all their lives into that. I think.
FB's waiting for you, Joe.
Only thing you need to do is stop Social Security and Medicare for about 2 or 3 months, and we'll be all back in the balance. So I just say kick all the old folks out of hospitals, cut off their Social Security check, and everything will be good.
Boy, there'll be a lot of public caning.
Anybody ever tell you you were evil?
Evil? Why would that be evil? That would be belt tightening. That's how it works in the real world.
They're close to their days coming.
FB's gonna take care of
We're told that from them. The means of survival is going to cut off. I mean, shit, Joe.
You really think if they cut off Social Security checks and all the old folks, and that includes myself, all the old folks started bouncing checks and not paying their utility bills, you think they'd be turned off? You think they would be kicked to the curb? No. Everything would just keep going along.
They'll still have to pay it if they don't get cut off. And some of the old folks, they didn't make much money in their working years, and so they're not getting much in Social Security, and they're living off of that. When you cut that off, they're screwed.
Oh, that's just poor
Joe,
planning.
You might be in that boat one day.
Poor planning. Hey, poor planning. Hey, wake up. Maybe you should have done a better job.
Well, some people just didn't have the means, Joe.
They
You got to
didn't
think
have
about
the
them, too.
means.
Well, this whole debt ceiling thing is a stupid pitch battle that happens every year, every couple of years. And it's ridiculous. Because we know we're going to do it. We can't default on our debt. We can't kill the economy. So all it is just posturing for their base.
We won't use the I-10.
AC1DD. Well, it is, but I think we need to drive home a point. The big hitters are Social Security and Medicare. Just tell all the old people to cancel their appointments. All the doctors will go and nurses will go on vacation for a couple of months, probably go down to the islands and get a good tan. Shut off the Social Security checks. People stop buying amateur radio equipment. You know, some of these markets will adjust and everything will be fine.
Well, freeze your savings account and your checking account and cut off your Social Security and retirement checks and see how well you do for 3 months, Joe.
I wouldn't even notice.
Yes, you would with no food in the fridge.
He doesn't have any food now.
The Social Security check to feed me. He doesn't have
I'm
any
talking
food in the
about
fridge
your
now.
checking and your savings accounts, too, and your investments. No money.
I guess you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
All your money that you put in Social Security, if they cut it out.
I'm just saying we got to live within our means. What's wrong with that concept? Somebody has to tighten their belt.
Using that mattress and squandering it.
It's MI or MM trying to get in there, but what's wrong with balancing the budget? Is that such a foreign concept?
No, it's actually required by law.
Frivolously spending it.
It's required by law, Joe.
Okay, it is required by law, but then why do we have to go through this stupid
Doubled our
exercise?
damn debt.
Default on the debt. We have a AAA credit rating.
But we're just going to keep spending. We're just going to keep blowing the budget. Why don't they just institute across the board 2% spending cut? Or a 5% spending cut, whatever the math says that we need to do. What's wrong with just saying, hey, you were getting $1 last month, this month you're getting 98 cents. Sorry.
Because the only people that would be affected by that, majority, would be the people in government who are breaking their money in right off the top. The politicians, all their kickbacks would stop.
The government.
Well, but it's a small amount that would get cut off if they just did an across-the-board cut. What's wrong with that concept? I mean, is it, I can understand like 100 years ago that was hard to do, right? Because you didn't have computers and all this stuff wasn't electronic distribution. It was actually coinage and all this other stuff. But today, you know, you just put in a number in a computer and the checks flow and they said, oh, yeah, you got $3 less than you got last month. You know, that's the budget adjustment. Why don't you just call it a budget adjustment and cut 2 or 3%?
Right. Well, why does any of it mean anything?
Then why doesn't all commercial stuff do a 2% cut across the board of everything? All commercial, all free enterprise, all communist, everything in the United States of America just
Why
cut
free
2%.
enterprise?
In other words,
Where'd this guy come from?
I
don't know. It's Oris.
Instead now it'll be $2.75 or some shit.
Bunga, bunga.
Commercial business is a commercial business. They set prices the way they want to maximize profits. They set prices. We're talking about the government taxing and blowing money.
Well, they do blow a lot of money. I'm wondering what happened to all the money they gave Jackson, Mississippi, and those people still have to boil their water.
Back the blowing part. Just do across the board, 1% cut, 2%, 7.1%.
Because that affects their kickback.
Well,
That affects their kickback,
people
Joe.
get money from the government. If they get too much money from the government, they figure out ways to spend it instead of giving it back.
Well, that's what are you talking about? That's you Social Security recipients and you guys living off of government payments. You
No,
don't give it
I'm
back,
living
Boris,
off
when you've got extra, you buy an
of
amplifier.
a percentage of money that
You
was
buy
set
an
back
amplifier. Don't give me that crap.
for me
You
for
got
when I
ink on
retired,
your
or if I became disabled, or I like to use the term medically retired.
Getting upset.
Have another cup of coffee, Joe.
You buy ink for your skin.
I need to do that.
You buy ink for your skin when you get too much money coming in from the government. You don't send it back. You buy some colorful ink.
No, I haven't pay dime for any of this thing, Joe. That's straight up, brother.
Joe, I think I'll give you another line of meth to calm down.
I'm just... I don't think that would work.
Well, why is it so hard?
They say, oh, well, we're going to crash it. We're going to crash it. We've reached the limit. Why don't they just put in a multiplication factor to say, hey, all you agencies that are collecting money, it's now everything across the board, Medicare, Medicaid, every defense contract, to say, hey, you're going to get 2% less. Sorry.
Then the doctors and all the nurses and all them people, they get 2% less too.
That's right. Everybody that's getting a government payment gets 2% less. What's so hard about that?
Why not find the stick in the craw that's screwing the system up?
Here's what needs to happen. They need to raise everything else. They've raised everything else.
If you went after Social Security, all the old folks would get their canes and their walkers
they
and go
need to
down
rake
and burn
in
down
more money.
City
I don't
Hall.
think they need to cut anything. As far as Social Security is concerned,
If you went after Medicare, all the doctors in the hospitals would
30
call
years.
their politicians up, and they have a lot of access. They would complain and moan and groan, and that they would stop that. If you went after just the Defense Department, all the military and the VA and everybody else would come out of the woodwork and start crying and moaning. But you can't do it in one chunk. Why not spread it like peanut butter over?
Right. So the system is broken, and there is a path back to the point where the system began being broken. Why don't they trace that back, even if they have to use AI to figure out where did it go wrong?
Well, it's got to be terribly wrong when they're sitting there saying, well, we're spending a lot more than we're taking in.
Yeah, that's a real hard problem to solve, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how most people manage it. Most individuals, when they run out of money, they stop spending.
Bullshit. Most people are living way beyond their means today. That's why there's a frickin' problem in the world.
Oh, yeah, the credit card debt. On Friday it was announced credit card debt re-peaked. It re-peaked at 2018 levels at, I think it was $960 billion. $960 billion is credit card debt, nearly $1 trillion.
I would bet that most people in this country are living 50% minimum beyond their means.
Well, because they've been trained. They've been trained to live beyond their means. Somebody will come along and bail them out.
My question there is what if the beyond your means is paying rent and having enough food to eat and paying your utilities?
That's fantasy. That's not the case.
That's not the case, Oris, at all.
Because
living beyond your means is pretty simple. It's when you're spending more money annually than you're bringing in.
You're an example, Oris.
Joe?
That's pretty much it. It can't be more clear. When you spend more than you bring in, you're living beyond your means.
That's because when I retired, when I worked, I made money.
This Tony Robbins out there, is this a Tony Robbins story?
When they medically decided that I can't do that work anymore, they retired.
You know, let's not get into the personal stories here, but
in my means now, do I have credit card debt? I have a little bit. I think everybody should have a little bit.
No, you shouldn't.
Credit card debt.
No, you shouldn't. Credit card debt's the frickin' worst.
Just a little bit. Not enough debt. Like I said, living within your means.
Credit card debt is the absolute worst. It's probably the highest interest loan you can get.
They're the ones living beyond their means, over.
It's a little bit of credit card debt, or
Sure, I'll agree with that. I mean, the principle applies for everyone. I agree 100%. 100%, but
no matter where it's
they haven't balanced the budget in this country in 30 years.
My debt rolls over. I roll my debt over. I have a limit for my. I don't know. I think I have an unlimited credit limit.
If you're
I
not,
have a limit that I set for myself, and I roll it over.
if you're not living where you can put 10% of your income, no matter where it comes from, in the bank, you're living beyond your means.
If they cut Social Security off tomorrow, I be able to survive at least a year.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty short view.
No, I'd probably go back. I'd probably have to go back to driving.
My point is, if you're not setting back 10% of your income, no matter where it comes from, you're living beyond your means.
Yeah, but he's actually 56.
Two police officers shot Metro Indiana State Police investigating Casey
It's awful. Go to work every day, work 40 hours a week, and still don't have enough money to pay the rent.
You're living in the wrong apartment. N1 UGI 20.
Yeah, or choose a different career path. You know, do something to fix you instead of cry the blues.
We don't hear about the bling.
Oh, I forgot about the blame. I don't know who to blame. I don't think there's anybody to blame.
Not blame, bling.
If you're unhappy with the amount of money you're making and you constantly, can't afford this, can't afford that, then do something about it. Do something to improve your income. Do something to suppress your expenses. I mean, there's things that can be done.
Nothing about it.
Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses.
selling crack.
I don't know.
Don't forget to selling crack.
That's the problem in the whole country. Everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses.
That's right.
Yeah, it's all about what I have and how you don't have it.
You're keeping up with the grill.
Damn, it's all good when you are the Joneses.
America 3. Go.
Get off the track. The track was,
Yankee.
why do we constantly have this problem? Why don't we just put in automatic
In the
adjustment?
nation.
Because government is too big, Joe.
So nice, I'll say it twice.
How to write a check
The
for 2%
weakest
less. That's
station in the nation.
ability.
Country,
4
Canada.
million
Capital city.
federal
Top of the
government
world.
employees,
And I just got
excluding
down.
the military, and they're spending the money of the gross domestic product of 350 million people.
Yeah, 1/3 of that. That's exactly correct. And instead of being told you have to write a check for a smaller amount, they say, "Oh no, that's what we wrote last year, and we got an inflation expander on that last year. That's what we're going to write."
No, we need to reduce their jobs, eliminate their jobs.
Now,
We
when
need to
does that
reduce
happen?
the federal government by 2/3.
Well,
Here's the federal government ever do away with
federal
the
government, they're
department?
not going to do anything like that. Some of those $1 billion acts that they make in Congress puts money right back in their pockets, and nobody does a damn thing about it.
Congressman now.
Horace keeps talking over you, Joe.
I know.
Okay, can you stop talking, Horace?
Government bought amplifier. You're using it to jam me.
I'm not jamming you.
Germany was a government-sponsored station.
That guy's audio really sucks.
Country, Canada. Capital city. Top of the world.
Can we take some of the bass out of that voice?
MI, take it out.
Yeah, man, you need to add some highs and then maybe some mid-range, man. Sounds like you're
Here we go
down
now.
in the
Horace
bottom
is an
of a
audio
great big
expert.
barrel that nobody can understand.
Get down, get bassy.
Yeah, come on, mind out there. Let's take a little bit of bass out of that voice.
Now, bass it up right there. We just bass it right on up.
That was a line that I'll never forget from one of my black army buddies. His father told him, "When you talk to me, you better take some of that bass out your voice, boy."
You better remind me that you're my kid. Microphone.
I don't understand that.
When he was arguing with his father, his father said, "You better take some of that bass out your voice, boy."
I'm not getting it, Tom. I don't know. Maybe.
That was a black friend of mine from Chicago.
Yeah, but why take the bass out? You would think he would want the
Is it a
bass.
black?
No,
Was he black?
he was talking back to his father, and his father said, "You better take some of that bass out your voice, boy."
Boy.
Over.
I'll say boy.
Hi, Roger.
He told me that we were out. I was out with another friend of mine. We were going downtown to get something to eat for supper, and he told me that I almost ran off the frickin' road. I was laughing so hard. stick some of that bass out your boys.
Yeah, boy. You better get some of that bass out of your boy.
I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know how bad it is.
I bet it's more than 2%. Well, 2% would be a start.
Well, I don't care what the number is. I mean, they know. You could look at the debt clock, that webpage of the debt clock. You can see how much money they're bringing in. In tax receipts, and you can see the money going out. So it's just a percentage that it's overrunning it.
I hate looking at that webpage. I know that's like. Could I commit suicide any quicker?
The weakest station.
Oh, it just means they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care because it's other people's money. It's just numbers on a paper.
Top of the world.
Oh, that's why you can't fix it by just going at one or two things. You just can't do it. That's why they did this before, right? This was done before when they put those automatic limiters in. I don't remember which administration that happened, but they did that. I mean, it was across the board.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years. Decades.
America.
And then we have the brain damaged Canadian up there with his my, top of the world. That guy is absolutely psychologically deranged.
Why is he deranged? I want to hear that.
I don't see how he sits up there all day and just says that mess all day, every day.
Yeah, I know that, but I want to know why you think just because he does that, that's what makes him deranged?
Yeah, exactly right.
You're exactly right, Oris. Do you not recognize that?
I mean, what kind of mental state could one be in to sit out there all day and do that on ham radio 7 days a week?
Bored.
Well, but what's
He's not bored. He's fucking mentally ill.
How much that'll cost?
He's fucking mentally ill. He's not bored.
Oh, he's mentally ill, but he's probably living in an apartment at some normal cost.
What he needs to do is get him an 11-meter radio and set that thing up on 11 meters and do that shit up there, and them guys will fall in love with it.
Well, that's where he learned it. That's where he learned it.
I'm sure he learned it.
Giving him a radio that actually doesn't transmit. He just thinks it transmits.
Right, just transmit into the headphones.
Who y'all talking about?
Sean.
Or is it?
Yeah, GFY, and I won't say it. I'm not in the mood to say it this morning, but you can go goofy up there in Canada.
Oh, my.
The guy's fucking brain damaged.
Definitely goofy.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
He's brain damaged.
What is he hurting, though? What is he hurting? If you put him in some institution, somebody would have to watch him. You'd have to have facilities.
No, he'd sit there and do that, and somebody would take him out with a frickin' hardwood chair.
He's the Canadian 2% cunt.
In the nation.
You remember that hardwood chair that guy was dragging and one flew over the cuckoo's nest?
Yeah, we don't have to go there.
Cold country.
Yeah, that'd be broken across the
And I just got down, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, well, you didn't go down deep enough and drag the hole in over you.
You need to stay down. Over. It's okay. The only problem we have is that we should have just connected his coax to a dummy load and everything would have been fine.
Or disconnect his spinal cord.
He is. He really is.
Spinal cord.
It's not very loud here anyway.
Another balloon is on the way.
Who cares?
Somebody needs to push him in a manhole and then park a car over the top of it.
Oh, God, man, you're awful.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Yeah, I just wondered, am I interrupting something? I have a short question.
Yeah, there's only 15 other people out here talking.
Just go ahead if you got a question. Shoot it.
Yeah, just wondering, like you just said, what drives this Canadian station 7 days a week? That's all he does. He appears, to what I've been able to find out, he works in a prison.
I didn't know Sean worked at a prison. Maybe that's his problem. Maybe
he is in
becoming
prison.
somebody's, bitch, for example.
And when you use the I-30.
Yeah, it certainly causes a lot of problems here.
M4.
Yeah, well, like we just said, a lot of us are in agreement that he's just, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I guess.
Well, then it's a good thing he's on the radio being cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs instead of out there in the public somebody.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be here, Oris. He could be anywhere in the spectrum other than here, bothering other people.
Well, I will say this: the more we talk about him, and the only thing we're doing is just encouraging him to continue, because he sees that he's getting a rise out of us per se.
Yeah, he'd do it anyway.
Probably. I mean, you're right. I mean, you could be out here and listen for hours and nobody's talking, and he's still doing it.
Right. He does it on a blank frequency for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time.
is completely ridiculous anymore. I mean, they can't control anything. KAWI.
This is America 3.
Sean up. We're all talking about Sean up there. He's on one this morning.
I'd rather hear Donnie. Oh, please.
That's happening.
He's been here all morning with the
Be prepared for the rest of the frequency to be shit.
Oh my God, he went.
You thinking he might be constipated?
Hear that, or we could go do another frequency and let them have this one.
No, we were here first.
Oh, is that what it's all about?
Yeah, first come, first served.
Okay.
Yes, Capital City, Canada, the weakest station in the nation.
Why would anybody brag about being the weakest station in the nation?
All right, we're on standby. Y'all have at it. KK4SIJ.
Doesn't that right there show that he's brain damaged?
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, so what do we do about it? We can sit here and say he's brain dead all day long. But now, what to do about it?
Yeah, we can talk shit about him all day long. It's not going to deter the outcome.
So what? Talking shit about him's fun.
It is fun. That's for sure. I agree with that.
I'd like to be there the day that he wakes up out of his coma.
You know what the first thing he's going to say is?
Yeah, I wasted my life saying my on 7200.
I don't know. The child molester is on frequency. He just tuned up.
That's right. He's going to come right out of that coma, shaking his head. My.
Yeah.
Right there, Oris. KN4 and Jim.
Well, don't tune up on top of people.
Well, I got to tune up the hell, man. So quick tune up there. I'm not, damn, that hurt.
Good. I'm glad it hurt. Stop tuning up on people.
Or you're in no position to tell somebody else what to do or not do out here.
KN4 and Jim, anyway. If he only took a couple seconds.
All right, I'm going to sit back and record, and then you do it.
Yeah, you're being fucking ignorant. You really are. Who are you to come out here and tell somebody what they should or should not do on 7200? You're such a goddamn hypocrite. Well, you can call me whatever you want, Oris, but you know what I'm saying about you is true.
No, it's not. I don't come in here and key up on top of people and
I do.
tune up on top of people. I don't do that at all, Christopher. You're wrong. You need to sit over there in the corner and turn on the TV and turn off the radio.
You've been out here doing it all morning, Oris. UZI has asked you more than one time to stop because you keep over-talking Joe while he was in QSO with them. That's just one example.
Yeah, I'm the victim.
Yeah, you're the victim, all right.
All right, so just knock it off, okay?
You started it there.
Listen, if he got to tune up, he's got to tune up, all right? Don't come out here and try to tell him what he can't do on 7200.
Fuck up.
That's crazy.
Hey, you're not allowed to do this on 7200, says the great N4 SDG.
Horse, point one. Nasty, filthy.
Man, I got my B-2 bomber flying.
Yeah, the language. I need to clean up the language. I agree with that.
Amplifier, you better watch out.
You better watch out. Yeah. Christopher started in on me. I ain't gonna put up with that little boy's crap.
No, you're just pissed off because I'm calling you out, Worth. That's what it is.
You're a punk.
And you're just a damn hypocrite, Worth. You're a hypocrite. You are in no position to tell anybody out here what they can or cannot do on this frequency.
Oh, Christopher, you're going to teach me about morals.
Yeah, you got Orris comes out here and talks over top of everybody while they're in QSO, and then comes out here and plays SSTV all damn day long, and then gets a damn warning letter for doing so. Then if you don't come out here and try to tell another ham what he can't do on 7200.
Somebody will get an SSTV QSO. You will shut the frequency down, Christopher. You need to shut up.
You ain't going to shut nothing down, Orris. Your government-sponsored amplifier doesn't have the strength to do so.
Shut up, Christopher.
You just don't. You're not going to win this one, Orris. All right, you're not. You don't have the power.
I got the power.
Order in the court.
Man, we're going to be on grumpy old men.
I got the power.
Order in the court. Order in the court. I'm slamming the gavel.
I own a license to run maximum power.
Be quiet, Sean.
I have.
See, I can't hear Sean anyway.
I am allowed
hear him,
to
and
work on my radio.
I think it's got Legionnaire's disease. It's infected his brain, sleeping in that basement with the dirt floor in his mother's house. So he might have a brain deficiency.
Maybe he's done too many drugs.
Maybe I'm.
Yeah, I had forgot that, but he's up there at Canuck Land, and they think different. I don't know if
Maybe
that's
we'll
something to
send
do
some
with
registered letters to your boss. Maybe that'll cool you off.
They think different.
That'll be the day.
To my boss. Send the letter to my boss. See what happens.
Oh my God!
Go ahead. Go ahead. Send the letter to my boss.
Lord have mercy. That old boy done really fell off his rocker this morning.
No, this is
so funny. Started it, Chris. I'm not going to back down from it.
really
Everybody
about
else
Sean.
kicking your ass. I'm not kicking your ass. I've never kicked your ass. I'm not
Everybody
kicking
else
your ass
gets
now.
it fast.
call my boss.
Talking about Sean, you fool.
Call my
I
boss.
think I might have hit a nerve there.
That's not hard to do out here.
What?
But can you do this one thing for me, please? When you call my boss.
First, you need some new buttons. Your old ones are getting too easy to push over.
Yeah, I know. I got that Christopher boy, I'm telling you.
Please.
He's a real work of art up there in Virginia.
And I know
I'm telling you, he just knows everything.
Because it'll be you getting.
Don't be butthurt because I called you out on your hypocrisy, Orris.
I'm not a hypocrite. I don't tune up on top of people, Christopher. That's what's pissing me off. You're wrong. And you need to shut up about it. And if I chime in, well, I got a call sign, and I can chime in if I chime in and do it legally. So you need to shut up about that. See, you're wrong, Christopher. Just sit back and admit that you're wrong, and it's okay.
Chime on.
No, I'm not going to do that, Orris. You got here talking about being prim and proper and operating, conducting yourselves in a professional amateur manner, and you do none of that, Orris. None of that.
That's right.
So you're a big damn fool and a liar on top of that, and a hypocrite to just to put the icing right on the cake, Orris.
Fine business operator issues. That sounds like something.
Lover's quarrel.
It's funny to hear you talk like this, Orris. It is about doing things the right way out here and trying to tell hams what they can and cannot do. And you are none of these things that you speak of.
No, man, come on in here. Make a call.
Take a break, Sean. Go take a nap.
No.
That's what I think you need to do. Go take a nap.
I'm listening to you.
No, hell no. I'm well rested. I slept probably 9, 10 hours last night.
You're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you.
I think it is.
Do you drink coffee up there or something, Sean?
What is the frequency in this guy?
I had
I've never heard him say anything other than those words.
I don't know, but I always thought that was you, Joe. It sounds kind of like
Who is a different voice? Well, who is he?
I have no idea.
open heart surgery, so I don't drink coffee.
I mean, that guy's been doing that for a year.
Jason does that shit. Oh, he doesn't use the word frequency. He uses the word channel.
No, he says this is channeling you. This is a channeling you.
Yeah. Motherfuckers be in there talking. Yeah, this is channeling you.
Channeling you. But this guy's been doing this for a year.
Golf. Foxtrot. Yankee. Capital City, Canada. The weakest station in the nation.
Oh, those days, that ship has sailed, baby.
Capital City.
I wonder what's going on with that guy.
Let's know about it.
Is he bouncing at the VFW now? Is that why we don't hear him on the radio no more?
Oh, you want just make up something and say that it happened. It's just as valid.
I don't know if that's They said he got shot in the VFW. And the only thing I could think of is trying to break up the fight. Maybe he was working security there.
Oh.
That's so true, though. You can just come out here and just make up something, and it doesn't matter what it is. It will spread like wildfire, and it will become the truth.
Yeah, I'll make up something. He got intoxicated. He threw up. He slipped in his own vomit and broke his leg. What do you think?
I don't know, but then you'd think he'd be on the radio.
Well, I mean, but that's more likely than going and getting into a gunfight.
I don't know. I didn't hear. I'm pretty sure. I did a little investigation myself, and I ain't seen nothing about
Make up anything.
anything like that. The only thing I can think of is nobody reported it. It was being shot by 25, but it's in the daggone hip. I mean.
Oh yeah, why not? Just make up anything.
I don't know. That might be one of Tom and K9RSY's little lie trick on the group again.
What are you implying, North? What are you implying?
Oh, I mean, they remember the amplifier story?
I didn't hear that one.
Well, then why do you ask?
I wanted you to elaborate.
Well, if you already know, why did you need me to elaborate? You should have elaborated and told me what you know. And then maybe from what the both of us know, we could come up with the truth.
I wanted the class to be brought up to speed.
All I know is the scuttlebutt on the radio. I don't talk to anybody on the phone or anything. I don't do any of that crap.
So tell us, what have you heard? Because it's probably the same thing that I've heard out here.
Nobody is dead. Move on past this stuff.
He's dead?
Yeah, it's, like I said, I don't know. First thing I thought of is Dan got drunk talking shit. Some guy that he beat up once, that guy had had enough.
That's right. K9RSY call sign will be up for grabs.
Tom, is this one of your and Dan's stories?
That's right.
KK4SIJ.
I wasn't even on frequency, Oris. I just got back on.
M4SDG. I thought I heard Tom RY up in West.
It will be available for purchase.
Yeah,
there's
no Tom was call sign.
Part about the 25 autos, which you can even find 25 autos still. I'd rather not even carry a pistol.
Yeah, I got two of them, and I don't carry one either. I don't see any need in it. I quit a job. I did security at the office lounge, and I quit because she told me she thought I needed to carry a gun. And I have a concealed carry permit. If I feel like I got to go somewhere and I got to have a gun, I don't need to be there.
Audio test. 1, 2.
Well, I hope you never find yourself in a position wishing you hadn't left it at home.
Me too. That's out.
The only place that a gun will protect me is in my home. Out there in the street, somebody pulls a gun on me, well, they can have whatever I got. They take my life, it's on them. It's over for me.
No, it's on you.
About that.
No, it's on you. You're dead.
No, yeah, that's on you, Orr.
You know, and then there's no chance of me getting angry and not thinking about what I'm doing.
Boy,
I get angry.
What a defeatist attitude.
I beat people to a pulp and been in trouble. I mean, you know, and then don't remember.
You're a complete defeatist, Doris.
You see him in the back when you're leaving, Orr.
I worked in the damn shit. I mean, I work around. You ought to see some of this shit I see.
Or,
Well, you got a good point.
Forrest, if you lose your life in an event of some sort of violence, that's not on them, Forrest. That's on you for leaving the only opportunity that you could have had to defending yourself at home on your bedside table.
I agree.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's it. That's on
I'm
you.
not for gun control, and I ain't for any of that. But let me tell you something.
We're not talking about gun control.
Right now in the town that I live in, it's not an issue. There's not a problem. You can go to the gas station, get gas, don't have to worry about it. Now, when it starts getting to be like it is down in hot Atlanta, I'll think about moving.
I think you're missing the point.
You're completely missing the point. You can't predict where crime's going to happen.
I don't need to be there.
No shit, man.
What do you got, a freaking calibrated crystal ball?
How do you know when a crime is going to happen, or especially if it involves you?
You're right, I don't know.
Then don't you want to be prepared for that?
Evidently, you're afraid.
Wouldn't you want to be prepared for that?
I'm not afraid of anything. It's either stay strapped or get clapped.
Well, I'm not going to get clapped, and I don't have to stay strapped. That's the whole idea of living here. I mean, that's the whole idea of civilized society, Tom. Yeah, you're afraid. That's why you carry that pistol.
You can't say that, Orr. You don't know that you're not going to get popped when you go out in public.
No, not being afraid, or it's just called being prepared.
No, it's being afraid. Let's get honest here.
Oh, so
it's about being afraid.
Cops in uniform around the world
You're
that carry
scared.
guns are
That's why you live in Kentucky. That's why you
He's trying to pick up on a Joeism here.
Yes, let's be honest, Doris. Let's be honest. The simple fact, let's be honest with ourselves here. You don't know what's going to happen when you, from one day to the next, whether you're at home or you're out in public. You don't know, all right? So you can't come out here and pretend that you know where you can and cannot go to where you're not going to be held up for robbery or some sort of violent crime. Nobody out here knows that, Orr. So you choosing to let yourself become a victim versus having a chance to defend yourself.
Let me ask you a question, tough guy. Do you carry your gun to work?
Yeah, damn right. I carry mine everywhere I go. No, I'm prepared is what I am. I'd rather be prepared than be naive like you are.
It's called prudence.
Hey, I stay home. I go get what I need. I go to do my thing, and I come home. I'm not out gallivanting in public like y'all are. I don't know. I mean, I think you're all afraid.
But you can't just continue to live a sheltered life, Orr. Because if that's your mindset, like, well, I don't have to go out in public, then you're scared too. Then, if you want to put it like that, if you want to come out here and say that because I carry a gun, or because Tom carries a gun, or millions of other people who wish to conceal carry or open carry or whatever that is. You can't say that they're afraid, but then here you are saying that you're just not going to go out in public. So ain't that another good example of being afraid?
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not afraid
damn
to
right.
tell you that, the world's gone crazy. It's the end of the world.
All right, I'll rest my case.
It's the end of the world. The world's gone crazy. It's literally gone crazy.
A long time ago.
Am I better off than I was a year ago? No. But, here's the thing, Christopher. I still
X90.
gun, And if I feel like I need the gun, I don't need to be there. That's just how I feel about things.
That's bullshit. You can't predict where crime's going to happen.
Carry my pistol.
You cannot predict where you're going to be assailed, Horace.
Here's the thing about me carrying a pistol. Christopher, I will shoot you. That's the difference between you and me.
He's probably not even allowed to possess a firearm.
But the difference is, I will shoot you. There's no doubt in
You're
my mind.
unqualified, Horace. You wouldn't shoot. You'd hesitate and you'd get killed.
You
would hesitate, Horace, and
I don't
you'd
believe
get
that
killed.
for 1 second. You can't predict what's going to happen, Horace. You can't. So you can't honestly sit here and say that you know where you can go and not feel the need to have a chance to defend yourself, because it can just happen anywhere at any time, Horace. You said to yourself the world's crazy, and I strongly agree with that. It can happen to anybody, anywhere. There are thousands of fucking victims out there every year who probably have the same mindset as you, and now they're 6 feet underground, and they're all wishing that they had brought their gun with them too, because it would have given them a chance to remain above the surface.
You will hesitate, Horace, and you'll be planted.
Well, then I'll be planted. I won't have to worry about shit no more then. You know? I'm saved, Tom. That's another thing, too.
Okay.
And I believe in Romans 8.
Okay.
And that man up there in Virginia can call me a hypocrite all he wants. Maybe I am. Nobody's perfect in this world. I'm just saying. At this point in my life, from where I'm at in my life, from what's going on in my life, if I feel like I need a gun to be somewhere, I don't need to be there.
Look, I'm not being a hypocrite here. I'm just being, I'm being a little bit of a realist here. And the point that I'm trying to stress is that none of us can predict what's going to happen from one day to the next. So it's just a good idea, this is my opinion, that to be prepared in the event of.
Like I said, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. So there you go. Somebody plants me in the ground, it's over.
Yeah, that's a wonderful cliche from a movie.
Taxes.
It doesn't affect real life.
I won't have to think about food. I won't have to worry about where the next. Well, I ain't gonna go there. Anyway,
why don't you just do yourself in now?
I'll be planning.
Why don't you just do yourself in now and avoid all the years of aggravation to come?
The only thing that scares me about the other side is not knowing what's on the other side.
Well, why don't you just do yourself in now and avoid all the aggravation to come?
Because I'm not done with the phone book yet.
Okay. You realize how stupid that statement is, right?
What, that I'm not done with the phone book?
No, what you said previous to that.
I don't know how stupid that is.
It's fucking insane.
Like I said, you're a very scared man. And I remember I used to carry a .38 Derringer in my back pocket everywhere I went. And that was because I think just like you do, thinking just like you guys. And now, I'm not doing it. Not carrying one unless we're in an actual war, and this has become, our town has become a combat scenario. I'm not carrying a gun unless I absolutely have to. Right now, I don't have to.
Okay.
Okay, well, and nobody's telling you that you need to, you carry one, don't carry one. It's not about being afraid. Fear ain't got nothing to do with it, Horace. It really don't. It's about being prepared in the event of. So if you choose not to do that and you fall victim, then that's on you. It's not on the one that was, doing the damn robbery or committing a violent crime towards you. That's on you, Horace, not him.
I mean, down in Atlanta, it's a gunfight every day, so I don't go down there.
KK4SIJ 50
I'm just saying, I live in a little Chicago, Atlanta down there, and I just don't go down there. I mean, like I said, if I feel like I need to carry a gun to go somewhere, I don't need to be there. I mean, if I have to be there, well, I'll prepare myself. But right now, I don't have to be anywhere. I do not feel fear enough to have to feel like I have to be anywhere with a gun. I'm just not that afraid.
It's not about
now, there was a time in my life that I was, but today is not that time.
89, CNC.
And Sierra Del Well, I did that for a minute.
It's not about fear, Horace. It's not about being scared.
Yes, it is. It's all about being afraid.
Be quiet, Jamie.
Why are you prepared? case something happens. Well, what do you mean in case something happens? Because I'm afraid something's going to happen, so I'm prepared.
Chicken shit.
Okay.
Do you have a spare tire in your car?
Do you pay car insurance? Do you pay house insurance?
Yeah, and it sounded like you got a clothespin over your nose, and not using your call sign doesn't make you a man either. So won't you grow up and exercise much?
You wear clothing outside when it's cold?
Sure. Don't you? I want to see where this goes.
Why do you do that? Why do
you put a jacket on when you go outside because it's cold. Why? Because you're prepared for the cold.
Shut up, Christopher. Nobody was talking to Tom.
Are you afraid of the cold?
No, but the cold causes me pain and makes me uncomfortable.
So a bullet from some fucking douchebag that walks up to you pumping gas at a gas station is not going to cause you pain.
Well, that don't happen here. When it starts happening here,
you must have a really
right now, how things are here in my little town, I don't have to do that.
You can't predict what's going to happen, Horace. That's the point we're trying to make here. You can't honestly say that you're going to go to a gas station somewhere and it is not possible that somebody can come up to you and try to rob you. You can't say that cannot happen to you because it very well can to you, me, anybody.
They're all scared. See, that sounds like fear right there. That's fear if I ever heard it.
All right, well, you think about that next time when it's cold outside. You can go ahead and leave your thermals at home and leave your jacket at home and stop being afraid of being cold and in pain because of the weather.
Man, you're comparing apples to oranges, man. Stop that.
It's the same principle.
No, it's not.
Apples to apples, maybe.
No, it's not. How can you compare wearing a pistol to wearing a coat? I mean, I can't get that. Like I said, you're afraid.
And it's called being prepared, or
your gun keeps you warm in the cold. I got it.
No.
You're afraid. I'm not afraid right
You're
now.
prepared for
when I have fear, trust me, I'll carry a gun. But right now I don't have fear, Christopher.
Do I have it?
I don't have it.
Do I have it?
It's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, I get up and go.
Yeah, take it away.
Anyone use the eye clear?
Lowest places in town with some of the craziest people in the world. And I go there.
You're going to read about Oris in the headlines one of these days. Stupid fucking asshole shot dead at the gas pump by some fucking douchebag nigger with a fucking gun.
Go ahead, Tom, you got it.
Some douchebag comes in there. I see it all the time. I've seen it happen.
Oris, you're a fucking ignoramus if you think that way.
If something happens that I get afraid, you can bet I'll carry it, Tom.
You're a fucking ignoramus, Oris.
I ain't afraid enough.
You're an ignoramus, Oris.
I don't know why you're so scared, but you're scared. Evidently,
you're an ignoramus, Oris.
Right now, where I live, we don't experience a lot of crime. Kind of live in a little utopia.
Oh my God!
Hey, let's
talk about living in a world of denial.
You enjoy riding motorcycles, right?
You live in a complete world of denial, Oris.
I've been in some low places without a whip.
You live in denial, Oris.
And walked out without a scratch.
You live in complete denial.
Crazy places and never had a problem. And defused quite a few problems. So, I mean, come on.
Oris, you like to ride motorcycles, right?
You live in complete denial, Oris.
Is that what it is? I'm living in complete denial?
Yes, absolutely.
Living in fear is not living at all.
Hey,
this is ham radio?
I'm living in fear.
Oris.
Sounds like they are.
This is ham radio?
No, I
live by the radio, die by the radio.
Recognition of the real world. No shit.
No, the real world. Like I said, I'm right there with you, Tom. The real world's going to hell.
So what's wrong with the fact?
Yeah, so why would you deliberately put yourself at a disadvantage?
Pistols and 1,000 rounds of ammunition over.
I feel like I don't need it. I'm not.
Okay,
like
good.
I said, I'm not afraid.
Good,
I'm
good.
not scared. The minute I get scared, that something from 38 will be in my pocket in a motherfucking minute. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. So, I mean, you know,
There goes the
I know what you're
airplane.
saying, and that's because you're afraid. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not afraid, Oris.
Well,
I am the last person on this earth who would be afraid.
You're the one living in denial because you can't admit that
No,
you're
I'm not
afraid.
living in
That's why you
denial.
carry a gun.
I live in complete recognition of how this world is, Oris.
My man.
M4SDG 10 o'clock.
N1UZI, I live in complete recognition of how this world is, Oris.
KK4SIJ.
I'm 65 years old, Tom. I'm just like you. I'm an old man, and I've been through the ringer. I know how this world is. That's why I live in Jefferson, Georgia.
Yeah,
because I know how this world is. And Jefferson,
It
Georgia
keeps
is
flipping and flopping.
Yep. Yeah, you've lived a long life, Oris, but you've never taken to heart any of life's lessons.
Okay.
Spoken like a true pussy.
Okay.
Oris,
I'll let you have that.
Oris, don't you like to ride motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
All right, so when you're on your motorcycle and you're going down the road, are you not considering what the surrounding motorists are doing?
This is a pussy.
Oh, yeah, that's driving. I mean, don't you do that in your car?
So it's fair to say that you don't know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next. And so considering that's being driving, it's called defensive driving. Would you agree?
You're not going to justify your fear, okay? You can compare it to whatever you want there, Christopher. You can compare it to... Now, he's probably keyed up on me. But you can compare it to anything you want. But it still doesn't... I'm not scared right now. And if I'm not scared, there's no need for me to walk around with a bunch of lead in my pocket.
This is a pussy.
The point is, when you're out riding your motorcycle around, you know, you're being a defensive driver because you don't ever know. Somebody might run you off the road or run a intersection, stop sign, you know, whatever it is. So you want to be prepared for that what if, because you can't go out there and ride your bike every day thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen to me today. It's going to be a perfectly safe motorcycle ride today. Wrong. The same principle applies for when you're out in public when it comes to general violence.
More apples than oranges.
Hey, Chris, that gun don't
Oris.
make you a man. You're a pussy.
Oris, you are completely brain damaged when it comes to your own self-preservation.
My self-preservation is fine.
Carry a gun.
You still don't get it, Tom.
Yeah, I do get it. I do get it, Oris.
Right now.
No, I don't think we understand, Tom. Neither nor you or I. We don't get it.
You are a victim mentality.
I should have food buried underneath my house.
You are a victim mentality.
Thermonuclear war shelter underneath my home and all
You're
that.
a victim mentality,
I'm not
Oris.
that afraid.
You're a victim mentality.
And I'm not going to apologize for it.
You're a victim mentality, Oris. Your whole life is a victim mentality.
You know, and you're right. Things change.
Gentlemen, there'll be no fighting.
You know, I'll be the first one to put that 38 in my back pocket.
You're
All right, Oris. Well, I hope you never find yourself in a situation
You're a
where you
complete
think
victim
for a half a
mentality
split
in
second
every
before you hit the
aspect of
ground.
your life,
Damn, I should
Oris.
have brought my pistol.
I don't know. I bounced at some of the meanest, hardest bars in Athens and Atlanta.
Here we go.
Swinger clubs and strip bars. And guess what?
I just hope you never have that thought
And
run through the
not
back of
one
your
those
mind if you ever find yourself in a
places that I feel
situation.
it's necessary to carry a gun.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah, that's just no fucking dumbass
like I
fucking
said,
nigger with nothing left to lose pulled out a gun and shot your ass.
Came to me and said, you know, and this was after that Orlando thing. Why don't you carry a gun? Because we had all kinds of people.
I'm
We
done
had
with this
a
idiot.
come in that bar. It was amazing. And I quit.
You're a victim mentality, Oris, and it's going to catch up to you.
I'm a victim mentality? Now, how do you say I'm a victim mentality? I got to hear this.
You're too dumb to figure it out.
Oh, now I'm dumb. Too dumb to figure it out, but you figured it
Okay.
out for me, but you're not going to help me.
Oh, okay.
See what kind of
Are you
guy
going to
you are?
parse? You're going to parse every single sentence that I say?
We've been trying to help you realize this, Oris, about the past 45 minutes now, but you just seem to not agree.
Oh, I know all about that. I've had that happen.
Oh, yeah. You know all about that.
But I've had that happen to me. And he killed my girlfriend in my kitchen, over top of my shoulder. I know all about that shit. Boy, you guys ain't got a clue. You carry a gun because you're afraid. I'm not afraid. And if somebody offs me, then it's done. You know? Then it's done. I'm not worried about that. Like I said, anywhere if I feel like I got to carry a gun to be somewhere, I don't need to be there. And then if there's something going on that I need to carry a gun, then I'll carry it.
Victim mentality.
There's no need for it.
But you can't predict when something may occur, or you can't.
There it is.
Oh, the Chinese is
I don't understand how you have the mindset of thinking that you know the outcome when you visit a particular place, or when you go out to run, an errand or something like that. Like, you can walk out the door confident, knowing that nothing's going to happen to you today.
Yep, they can walk out the door and somebody can be sitting up in a tree with a 7mm long gun and off me right there. I mean, I'm not that important. I'm not that important. And most of them gunfights that happen down at gas stations are people that are mad at each other. They're having to pay $4 a gallon for gasoline.
No, it's not. It's some dumb fucking ass like you with absolutely zero situational awareness that gets clapped with the hose in their tank.
You know what? You in this country, you should be able to live without having 100% situational awareness.
Yeah, we should be able to live. Yeah, we should be able to live with zero situational awareness. But that's not how it is, Oris. You're a fucking victim mentality from the word go.
No, I'm not. I don't feel it.
All right, I'm out of here. Have fun with this. KK4SIJ. Got better things to do today.
All it's going to do is get me in trouble. Those who live by the sword die by the sword.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you ought to print that on your headstone after some fucking asshole blows you away at a gas pump.
Well, it ain't happened yet, and I fill my tank up every day, and it ain't happened yet.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Well, you must have a serious gas hog for a vehicle if you got to fill up every day, or you do a lot of driving.
I do a lot of driving.
And that safe bubble that follows you everywhere you go?
Oh, I'm fine. Like I said, if I feel like I need to carry a gun to go somewhere, I don't go there. And if the situation goes to where I feel like I need to carry a gun everywhere I go, then I'll carry it. But right now, I don't feel like it's necessary.
That is complete irrationality.
You're afraid. And see, that's the problem. Everybody's afraid. So being everybody's afraid, everybody's arming themselves. And then they get stupid because then their attitude becomes, oh, man, my dick's bigger than everybody else. I got this thing that shoots lead. Yeah, right. Okay? It happens in Atlanta every day.
No, that's not the case around the country, Oris. That is a completely fictitious view.
I don't know. I know what I see on the news here in Atlanta, all right?
Yeah, you need to stop watching the news.
KK4SIJ, we're QRT.
And when you
live in the backwoods of Kentucky because you're afraid.
Yeah, you need to stop watching the news, Oris. You need to come down. You need to boil your thought down to rationality.
You didn't want no more of that bullshit up in Massachusetts, and so you went.
You're picking right up where Joe left off. You're picking right up where Joe left off. It doesn't hold any water, Oris.
Yes, it does. It holds all kinds of water. You're scared.
It doesn't.
You're a scared man. You want to carry a gun everywhere you go because you're afraid. And what scares me is you're going to shoot somebody that's probably doesn't deserve to be shot.
Oh, really?
You're not going to use any good level sense about it.
Oh, really?
And you moved from Massachusetts to Kentucky out in the middle of nowhere so you don't have to deal with people.
Oh, really?
Don't tell me that that's not fear.
Oh, really? How many times are you going to talk over me? Give me 30 seconds, Oris. Give me 30 seconds. Bite your tongue for 30 seconds and let me transmit, okay?
I never been letting you transmit. You're the one keying up on top of me. But, you're the one going to say something about it. Because you're 30 seconds.
Bite your fucking tongue for 30 seconds, okay?
There goes the F word. I don't know I just know what I see in here, and I hear
my fucking God, you
little
can't do
boys.
it. Anyone use the eye clear?
Don't leave. See, that's what happens with you, Tom.
Get a moderator.
You insult people when you run out of things to say. That's what happens. 7-3.
You're an ignoramusaurus.
See, you up on top of me again. There you go, Tom.
You're an ignoramusaurus.
There you go. You ain't got nothing else, so you're going to sling insults.
No, I do have something to say, but
there you go.
Stop transmitting long enough to let me say it.
I have a question.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up for 30 seconds, okay?
I have a question.
You have no fucking clue what's going to happen in the future of your life whatsoever. If somebody walks up to you with a fucking Glock when you're pumping gas somewhere, anywhere that you are, or on the highway, and you get and they pull that thing on you and start shooting, you are leaving yourself absolutely defenseless. You are an absolute victim mentality. You have no sense of being prepared for anything that might happen in your life.
Trust me, dude. If you're standing there pumping gas and a criminal comes up to you with a gun, you ain't going to move. You ain't going to have your... Because the minute you reach for... He's already got his gun out. The minute you reach for yours, you're gone. 7-3, Tom.
That's why you shoot them in the back when they're leaving.
Anyone use the eye?
Horace, you need to finish your bowl of gummy-O's.
KX90.
Use the airport.
Hold on. First of all, you guys do know that anyone use the eye is a very unusual person.
He's a retired government official.
He's very unusual. He's a full-on survivalist. I don't think that's not saying anything bad about him. That's what he is, right, Tom? Wouldn't you say you're very deep into preparedness? Hello?
I think he went QRT.
He said F.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue on, Joe.
Wouldn't you say that you really pride yourself in being prepared, right?
Absolutely. I'm prepared for anything that might happen in my life as well as I can be.
Right. And Uzi and I are almost polar opposites when it comes to that subject. I don't even have a flashlight with batteries in it.
You're wrong.
Yeah, but Uzi not only has one generator, I think he has 3.
No, it's 7 actually.
Okay.
It's 7.
He's got 7 generators.
Right. You know why that is?
Batteries.
You know why that is, Joe?
I don't know, but
because I'd like to be a good neighbor, and when if and when the situation occurs that all my neighbors lose power, I'd like to be able to throw one of those in the back of my truck and drive it over to their house.
Okay, that's fair.
That be a warlord.
So
hello.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Did you get my drift? Did you get my drift, Joe?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying,
I'm a sheepdog, Joe. I'm a sheepdog. I spent 25 years in the fire service.
What I'm saying...
You don't change that lifestyle overnight.
Oh, you're exactly right. You see, there was a power outage. The last thing on my mind would be getting my neighbor's power. I wouldn't care about that at all. I would say, hey, that's your deal, or if that's Amber in Illinois' problem, not mine. But what I'm saying is, that's the difference. That's the way Tom looks at things. He looks at how prepared and what tools he could bring to the fight.
And he's right.
And it could be generators, it could be batteries, it could be food,
firewood,
it could be weapons, it could be all of the stuff.
Yeah, firewood.
Absolutely, everything you can think of.
Right.
Where I look at everything from the minimalist point of view. I'm like, I don't want anything. Because everything you own starts to own you.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it does, Tom.
No, it doesn't.
I know we differ on that.
I agree with Joe on that
We
one.
may differ on that, Joe. It just becomes a lifestyle after 40 years. It becomes a lifestyle after 40 years, Joe.
Sure, I understand that. I get it. But what I'm saying is that it becomes your life also, whereas there's also another life where you're just kind of carefree and, you know, I open the cupboard and if there's no food in the cupboard, I say, oh, I got to go to the store.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't come upon that situation very often.
Well, I know, but the reason that you look at a firearm for protection, I believe, is because you say, because of your training, right, in the fire department, what do? You see all these different situations, and you say, boy, I wish I had this tool or this device, and I need to have it really handy, and I need to be able to use it. It needs to be light, and it needs to be everywhere. And so you go around seeing all these disasters, and you say, I need the best tools to handle those. And so that spills over into your ordinary life. Now, I admit there have been times when I wish I would have been thinking more like that. You know, have a fire extinguisher. When I was on the farm, we had a tractor burn up. And we didn't even have a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, but you had insurance.
No, we didn't. We didn't have insurance on that old farm stuff.
They don't have a tractor anymore.
Yeah, that's what happened. I'm just saying. It's a different when your professional life is looking at situations and trying to figure out how to bring equipment, people, training together to solve something that spills over into your ordinary life. Now the way you look at things, it's no big deal for you to throw a gun in your holster and go about your daily business. It doesn't cost you anything because you've already owned it. There's no training impact, so you can do it. Now, Oris looks at it like, you know, I'm a little concerned about my mental ability to manage that, and I think most Americans are like that because they know they get pissed off on the road. Now, maybe Tom doesn't have that problem.
No, I don't, Joe. Not at all.
So I think it's just, you know, it's different people looking at it in a different way.
It's a learned lifestyle.
Well, I think survivalism is a learned lifestyle.
Joe, I've carried a gun for 40 years.
Okay.
40 years! 40 years!
Okay, that's fine. Did you ever think you were going to have to shoot somebody?
Yeah, I don't know. No. Yeah, well, yes and no. Of course I did. But you know what? That gun has never come out of the holster unless it was going to be used. That's my mindset. It's not going to come out of the holster unless it's going to be used.
Have you ever used it?
No.
Then you never needed it.
That's bullshit. Yeah, you know what? Have you ever collected insurance on your vehicle?
Tom's got 7 generators. I don't know if he's ever used them.
Yeah, I do, Joe.
Well, I'm just saying, though, that's another example.
Joe, I got 100 acres of land. If I need electric power to some other part of the property, I need to bring a generator there.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, well, that answers your question. Go.
Well, I'm just saying that I look at things like every time you own something, the damn thing owns a piece of you.
Well, of course it is. That's the way it is in everything in life, Joe. If you own clothing, that owns a piece of you. You still have to wash it and wear it, right?
Yeah, that's right. But there are certain things you just have to do to get along in normal society.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, but you don't need 7 generators to get along in normal society. I mean, typically.
They were given to me, Joe. I got to go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He didn't say the F word.
I mean, you have to remember.
Right there.
You have to remember, N1UZI is a full-on survivalist. You guys don't have you guys have no idea how deep he is into this stuff.
Yeah, I know he's a prepper. I knew he was a prepper.
The weakest station in the nation.
No, he plans on surviving. If the whole damn thing comes crashing down, he plans on making it.
My attitude is I'll make it, and if I don't, I don't.
Well, I know, but everybody draws that line in a different place. I mean, he's been telling me for years I better do something. I don't even have flashlight batteries, Oris.
Let me ask you a question. When have you ever needed to do anything?
Well, you see, that's part of my problem. Now, I know that we've had power outages here, but my God, they're so small. And, you know, my smartphone pops up and says estimated time to, to correct the problem with the utility is, 17 minutes. So I guess maybe, now, Tom calls that normalcy bias. Normalcy bias. I'm used to the normal way of living. And I will admit that COVID kind of rattled me a little bit when it comes to that. My normalcy bias when COVID came along was, well, wait a minute. We had SARS and we had Ebola, and they fizzled. They weren't anything. They didn't turn out to be anything. But COVID really was quite a change, so that kind of rattled my normalcy bias. Now, could he be right that, an EMP comes along and me thinking my normal power outage is 17 minutes every year, it goes to where it's out for 3 weeks, and I don't have an even flashlight battery. AC1DD?
Well, I don't think well, the balloon kind of rattled my cage a little bit. I don't know how heavy an EMP device would have to be to float it over the United States, but I think that's exactly what that was a test to see how easy it would be to fly something in that was sending this other balloon and stick it in on the United States. You got to remember, them Asians, they're known for their sneak attacks.
That's certainly what it was, KX9D.
Anyway, I still don't feel it's necessary to carry a gun everywhere I go. That man's proved to me that he doesn't need to carry a gun everywhere he goes. He's never pulled it out. He's never pulled it out. I guess it's a phallic thing.
Well, no, I think it's his training. He was a fireman and an EMT and all that stuff, and those guys sit around. I mean, think about that job, Oris. I mean, they're sitting around in, relative peace, waiting for a disaster. Whether it's somebody trapped under a car that's on fire and they roll up, what do they need to do to save that person's life or minimize their injuries? That's what they do. They sit around and think about that. And I think that starts to spill over in other parts of your life. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing as long as some people do that. But I don't draw the line there. I look at everything that you own as it's starting to own you. I hear these guys with these generators, they go to start them up, the damn things won't run. And then they're playing with their generator for 3 days. It's just another thing that becomes a pain in the ass. And everybody's got enough of those things.
Yeah, I got radio. I got an ALS 600 that doesn't have 12. It's a low voltage. I don't know why.
And when you do,
they have 3 backups to every radio piece of equipment in their radio station. I have no backup. I don't have an extra transceiver. I don't have an extra amplifier. I don't have an extra tuner. I don't have any of that stuff. There are guys that say, well, you need a backup. Why do you need a backup in ham radio? The thing breaks, fix it, or buy another one. What's the big deal?
Because it may break when you can't get another one.
Well, I know, but what do you need amateur radio for?
Well,
I just listen to you and Uzi. Well, that's
pretty sad. Station set up and running at the same time.
As soon as I keyed up 3 other phones, what'd you say, Joe?
No, I'm just saying you have spent a lot of years looking at situations and trying to bring equipment and training to resolve those situations.
That's right. Being able to respond most effectively under worst case scenarios.
That's true, Tom. But what you do when you do that is you're way out on the curve. I'm not saying
my life is no different from anybody else around here, Joe.
No, I think it is, Tom. You got 7 generators.
Everybody around here's got generators.
Well, they may have 1 or 2. They don't have 7.
Yeah, but I bought 2 of them and 5 of them were given to me.
I'm not saying you didn't procure them very shrewdly.
Okay.
I'm not saying that because if you do it over time, you can do it very shrewdly.
Okay, so what's your point? What's your point?
My point is, you just draw the line in a different place. And
No, my point is,
I believe you draw it way out on the curve.
My point is, if somebody needs it, I wouldn't have the slightest hesitation to just hand it off to them and tell them to keep it.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I don't have flashlight batteries, Tom. How can you explain this?
Let me see. I'm trying to put it as politely as possible.
Well, you gotta remember, what was my training, Tom? You know, with lean, you've heard of lean manufacturing. We went through lean. We had all this equipment sitting around the whole damn place.
Right.
17 to 27 different buildings.
Yeah, I know, and you just threw it out in the dumpsters because you were spending other people's money.
No, it was we were spending time managing a bunch of old junk equipment that really was never going to do anything for us, but we couldn't drive ourselves to get rid of it.
Yeah, you could drive yourself to get rid of it, but you didn't auction it off. Most of the places, most of the manufacturing that gets government grants just throws the shit out in the dumpster or destroys it for security reasons.
Well, I'm just saying, though, that all of that
Okay,
stuff
are you going to address my point? Address my point directly. Is that true or not true?
It's only partially true.
Okay, it's partially true. So about 80% of what they discard has to be destroyed because of confidentiality and government contracts.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it's a system chock full of a bunch of engineers. And what are engineers? Engineers are damn pack rats. They don't want to get rid of anything.
No shit, because they want to have materials to fiddle and fuck with to build other shit.
Exactly, but after a while, you've got all this stuff. You lose track of where it is, and you'll end up buying it anyway because you can't put your hands on it.
Or it's incompatible with the crap you got.
Well, everything's changing too, but there's always reason to have a backup. But what I'm saying
is, you just contradicted your statement, Joe.
Get rid of it.
You just contradicted your statement, Joe.
No, what I'm saying is it just bogs you down.
I'm not bogged down at all.
It starts to drive you. I was going to move. I went into my basement, and I'm starting to look through all my basement of all this stuff that I've accumulated over 40 years. And I'm like, why do I even have this shit?
What is it? Is it just superfluous junk, or is it usable material?
It depends on the situation. If certain things happen, I would need it.
Well, is it a chair that you can sit in, or is it boxes full of stuff that you could build usable machinery out of?
I've got 5 years worth of National Rifleman in the basement.
Okay, I have not owned a magazine. I have not a gun magazine, but a readable magazine. I haven't owned a magazine in 30 years.
Well, that's good. So
I don't collect that shit. All my paper waste goes out in the junk. It's all crap. After you've read it, if there's an article in there that's worth keeping, I'll cut the article out and put it in something else.
And then you'll lose it.
No, I put it in a file cabinet if it's that substantial.
Joe, he likes some file cabinets a long, long time ago. I'll never make that mistake again.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? I don't collect paper magazines and stuff. Joe, I've been in people's houses. I've been in people's houses that were hoarders. This one guy had an entire room in his house. It was like a 12 by 14 room, and it was filled in its entire cubage from floor to ceiling, front to back, right to the doorway with telephone books, old telephone books. People like that are mentally disturbed. We went down in the basement. The floor joists were sagging. They were sagging down almost 6 inches in the center.
But you do know, Tom. I mean, I'm not trying to poke the bear, but you do know that there are some people that if they looked at how you live, they would say you were mentally disturbed.
How I live?
Yeah.
How do I live, Joe?
You're isolated.
No, I'm not isolated. Everybody around here owns between 20 and 300 acre farms.
Okay, but
This is normal for this area, Joe.
okay, for that area,
I live on 100 acres, 110 acres.
is it normal?
Yes, it's normal.
Is it normal to have 50 firearms?
Yes, that's a minimalist collection. If you go into the collection realm,
I'm probably low.
yeah, you're probably
100.
non-existent. Even in the machine gun collection, Joe, I'm a fucking amateur. There are people that have fucking $1 million, $10 million worth of machine guns, and you know who they are?
Yeah,
They're all doctors, lawyers, and dentists with extreme expendable incomes.
That's right. They're just a lot of it too is they're dodging taxes, right? You can buy and sell that stuff, and you forget that you got a capital gain on it.
It's the same people that collect cars and all types of exotic equipment or different things.
Where they can't have them.
What I'm saying is, you are a full-on survivalist. Would you not admit that?
I will absolutely admit it.
Okay, so that everybody needs to know that, but when they're discussing things with you.
Okay, so go ahead. What's your point?
It's not a bad thing. It's just how you are.
And you know what, Joe?
Yeah.
Most of those people that are listening to me or are understanding that, they'll be the same people knocking on my door looking for a handout when times get hard.
Yeah, but that's, again, making the assumption that, number one, times will get hard.
And they will. They already are.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Uzi will shoot you coming up the road. Don't fall for it.
Government checks there, Joe.
I'll shoot you leaving.
Collectively, we are insane. KX9D.
I mean, AC1DD. Uzi's no different than the ham radio operator that's got 6 of everything.
That's not true, Joe. I've got one ham radio operating, and that's this one right here.
Want to live this weirdo life out there in the woods with guns and
shut up. Here we go. Here's Sigmoid Colon.
Good morning, Don.
Here's Sigmoid Colon. He's full of shit.
You know, it's called that.
I would run out of food in 3 days. I'm going to run out of food in 3 days, and it doesn't worry me at all.
Okay, where are you going to go to get food after that 3 days?
I'm going to lose weight.
No, you're not going to lose weight. Where are you going to go after the 30 days?
I'm going to lose weight.
Where are you going to go after the 30 days when it starts killing you?
But it doesn't. I think the probability of that is 0.
Whatever. I bet he's afraid to leave his compound. I bet he's afraid to leave his compound for any late.
Well, let's get 5 other buzzwords involved in here, like the compound or security. Donnie, go fuck yourself, you idiot.
Goes the F word. And goes the F word. Right-wing radical, yeah.
It was a weather balloon.
Yeah. Let's bring up 5 more buzzwords, Donnie. You fucking creep.
Use the best one, Donnie. Extremist.
I can't understand that guy. His audio's messed up.
He needs a little bass.
He needs something.
So what's your point, Joe? I'm a survivalist, so what's your point?
Well, that's the main point. You're a survivalist. Survivalists look at things completely differently. So when Oris was trying to say, hey, I don't need to carry a gun everywhere I go, that's not the way you look at it. You look at it, you told me one time it's like wearing a gun to you is like me wearing my seatbelt.
That's right.
And so, it's a different mentality.
No, I've been a survivalist for years, Joe. When I got on the job, on the fire department, I had the potential to have to be away from my home for a month at a time. I had to make things conducive to living for my wife.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, well, it just becomes a lifestyle.
Oh yeah, my life would be different if someone else was dependent upon me.
Absolutely. Well, that's what got me into it.
Yeah, no one's dependent upon me at all.
Okay, well, then we differ.
If I run out of food and I get hungry, I'll just start losing weight.
Or go kill a squirrel. Do you realize how compelling starvation is?
Tom,
starvation is one of the most compelling.
When's the last time anybody starved in America?
Human life.
No one starves in America, Tom. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. But you see, that's that trying to manage for the tail risk. You know, that's a 1 out of 1 million shot to happen. Do you really want to manage it for it?
Well, I agree with you. Nobody's starving in America. If you go to any Walmart at 6 o'clock in the morning and they're clearing those shelves of all that edible food simply because of a printed date on a package, that food didn't spoil overnight. And people who buy that food, if they had bought it 10 minutes before that person came out to clear the shelves, they would have put it in their refrigerator for the next 5 days before they got to it. It's an absolute waste.
The system is designed to minimize any sort of ill health effects from spoilage in the system. That's just the way the system is evolved, and that's a good thing.
Please, Joe, I've investigated this for 40 years. 40 years. It's all bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
It is bullshit. They're pulling that shit from the shelves simply because of some government bureaucrat said you can't put it on there or leave it there or past this date.
Because if you didn't have that, the damn companies just leave it on there and let it rot.
Yeah, but they don't even take the effort or make the effort to donate it to people who could use it.
It's okay, Jeff. The donation system is perverted. But you could go down to the food bank down here. You don't have to show anything. I mean, there are people that drive up there in $50,000, $60,000 pickup trucks and load their truck up at the food bank.
I know it. I see it every day. There's a church down here. There's a half-mile long line of vehicles that are they're $40,000, $50,000 vehicles, and they're lined up a quarter of a mile out onto the highway.
Victor, America 3.
Part of the survivalist thing I don't get. This massive stockage of food, especially if it has a spoilage thing. If you're rotating it properly and you're using it, that's fine. But a lot of this stuff, these people buying stuff, survivalists buying food, they end up wasting the food.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. That's the first thing they look at is what the storage capacity or capabilities of it are. They don't waste it. People rotate it. They're not wealthy enough to be able to waste that type of food.
I spend no effort worrying about my electricity going off.
Okay, now you're changing the goalpost again.
Oh, no, I'm just changing the subject to broaden it out.
Okay.
I spend no effort worrying about running out of food.
Okay.
I have spent no effort worrying about running out of water.
Okay.
That's it. That's my life. I don't care about that stuff at all.
Okay.
But you care immensely.
So that's the difference between me and you.
It is, and it's where you draw the line. So when you look at this carry the gun thing, I'm kind of like Oris. I'm like, to me, it's too much work to carry a gun. You laugh at that, but it's another thing.
It is a pain in the ass. You got to dress for it.
Joe, I put a gun on.
Your lifestyle.
Just as soon as I put a wallet in my back pocket.
Joe, can I get something here?
Boy, you
somebody ate up with RF.
Signal there.
Oh, somebody needs to fix a radio.
Ate up with RF.
Before you need to stock in $8,000 worth of food. Over.
Wait a minute. I missed the beginning.
The guy had some terrible RF. I'm just saying. My experience is, don't worry about it. But you draw the line in a different place. Now what? I agree. You know what? You know where the survivalist really makes sense to me? It's the people selling survivalist equipment. I was shocked when it came out in that trial at how much, what's that guy's name? Alex Jones. How much money that guy was making selling survivalist food, stuff packed so it'll last a long time.
They're his sponsors, Joe.
What?
They are his sponsors.
Yeah, but he was making like 60% profit margins on that stuff.
No, he wasn't.
Hey, go watch these live right now on
You
Joe
need to
Rogan.
go read those transcripts.
What's live on Rogan?
Alex Jones is live right now on Joe Rogan.
I bet that's a good show.
It's on right now.
Can't stand either one of those guys.
If you go to Rumble, they're having a live, and Alex Jones is drunk. It's pretty funny.
He's drunk? Well, he's always drunk. I'm just saying that's the guys that made money in survivalists. The guys selling.
Of course, people make money selling everything, Joe.
It's just another scam.
Yeah, the guys making money on auto sales own all the car dealerships too. What's the difference? What's the difference?
The selling to survivalists is where the money was.
Yeah, car dealerships are selling to people who need cars. What's the difference? Shut up, Johnny, you asshole.
KX9D.
Sell your survivalist gear. Sell your machine guns. Sell your ammunition. Sell all that packaged food. Sell the
W9BOZ.
Sell the compound. Advertise it as a survivalist dream. That's where the money is. Over.
Okay, yeah, then you take all that money that you just got and
claim
use it
I'm
to keep
Jesus
yourself
and
warm. Because it doesn't have any value to it anymore.
Talk about what kind of diapers Donald Trump wears when he's playing golf.
Shut up, you asshole.
I think they're the ones that when he gets done with, he gives to Joe Biden, so Joe Biden's got something to wear when he attempts to play golf. Over?
Shut up, you asshole.
How about the squirrels in Joe's back 40? That's what I want to hear about.
And when using I at 40.
Lighten up, Uzi.
You lighten up, Joe. Wake up.
Lighten up. Sell some of those machine guns.
No.
Sell some of that 1 million rounds of ammunition you got stored away.
No. Sell some to Joe.
Sell some of those generators that you don't need. Sell some of all that That's the money. The money is in the sales of survivalist equipment because it's an easy sell.
I'm not looking for money, Joe.
Money's good.
I'm not looking for money.
Money's good. I like money.
I could have a stack of $100 bills that's not going to light my light bulb.
Yeah, but you could get mobile.
Yeah.
You could get mobile. There's a lot to be said about being mobile. Any fixed target is gone. That was taught to the world in Gulf War I.
Yeah, unless you have proper defenses.
Yeah, you think you're going to defend? Do you really think that compound could defend against the federal government? I tell you, it would last about 30 seconds.
What compound?
One Abrams shell.
Well, there's a couple of details that you guys are leaving out here. First of all, it wouldn't be just one guy against the government.
Only a couple.
If the tyranny ever had to be overthrown, there would be a lot more people involved. And you got to remember that the U.S. government cannot use U.S. Army troops to fight against its own country, the civilians.
They did against the
that's why they're not armed. They're not on the bases.
Absolutely.
National Guard should be called out for civil unrest.
K89CAT.
Come to terms with the fact that most of the people that are in the National Guard would not shoot their brothers, sisters, and sons.
I agree. It'd be more like trying to take out a hornet's nest when they're all angry. Kind of rough.
So, the U.S. government has used military equipment against civilians. That is a proven fact. FBI snipers have fired not only on men, but on women. That is a fact. That's in our history, so that could happen.
K89CAT.
See, Tom, I think the better solution, the better survivalist solution, is a highly mobile solution. Highly mobile.
Ohio. We're dead in Ohio, dummy.
Safe houses. Lots of different communications equipment that you can pick up and toss. Any fixed target is gone. That was taught to the world after Gulf War I. Gulf War I taught the world, don't fight the U.S. if you have fixed targets. Everything has to be mobile. Everything has to be able to be turned off and go dark. Pop up. for 30 seconds. Launch your missiles and go quiet again. The only thing that works.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, we got 7 generators and 50 machine guns. You're not mobile. You can't move. You're like an elephant.
What kind of diapers? Hey, does anybody know what brand diapers Donald Trump wears when he's playing golf?
You're like an elephant, Tom. You're like an elephant. You're so plotted down. You've got one GPS location, one 500-pounder, and you're gone. You need to be highly mobile. You got to have a place. They don't even have to. You have to be hidden.
You have to be a gorilla.
You have to be hidden. If you're like an elephant, Uzi. You've got all this survival gear, but you're stuck on one piece of ground.
He's right.
And one bomb, and that's it. And that bomb costs about $1,000.
Yeah, the hell, Joe. You're right.
Get mobile. Get like 30 communication devices. Have safe houses spread all over the country where you can move and come and go.
Hey, Joe, did you ever take into consideration that all of us having guns and stuff isn't for our government, but for the government that's going to try and invade our country? We just sent a balloon over to check the middle of our country to see if there was anybody standing around with a gun in their hand, and they just realized, hey, we could drop a bunch of guys in there at night. These guys would all wake up and change the next day.
I'm telling you, that movie Red Dawn, the movie Red Dawn ruined the psyche of America. We're never going to be invaded like that.
Never.
Never.
Man. If those guys turned up with somebody else's sticker on their coat, they'd be wearing so much gear ammo that they wouldn't know what the hell to do with it.
Instead of trying to create a piece of ground that you can defend, instead of trying to develop a piece of ground where you're going to develop and you're going to be able to go stand alone, and you're going to fight off all invaders, whether it's your government or your neighbors. That's fantasy. That's the absolute worst way of doing it. You're a target. You're a target when you do that. I mean, how many people know?
Where's Skid Mark?
Compound down there in Kentucky. I mean,
It's like a bunker. A cave is a grave.
I mean, look, there's thousands of people that are going to be going to Kentucky when they need some food, or...
Where's Skid Mark?
Here goes the F word.
Boy, they sure went to hell here pretty quick.
Man, no kidding. Turns to hell pretty quick out here.
Your son for a quarter-inch on a shotgun belt.
Oh, yeah. Who's that guy that said the government wouldn't put troops against the citizens? Who's that guy?
They flew helicopters.
And all the horse medicine in this country produced
against
in
the
China.
Grants Davidians. Now, I admit that those guys are fruitcakes, aren't we?
Joe, they had tanks there.
They could have taken him in town.
They had a drone flying over there.
He was in town every week.
Yeah.
But they wanted a big show, and then the show blew up on them.
Yeah, they got the show. They got the 50 cal.
Machine
guns and check out the goddamn Dagos, the Jays, and the Watson, and all them other people over there.
Wonder when Jesus is coming
What a
back.
moron.
Anybody know when Jesus is coming back? Anybody know where he's going?
He's a moron.
Now, why all that stuff all over?
No, it's funny you should mention Waco, but the other day I saw a picture of the David Koresh 69 Z28 Camaro somebody was auctioning off. They got $1.4 million for it.
Other thing there, mister, they won't put troops against you. What about Fort Dead in Ohio? Go back as far as you want to go. The whiskey wars on the East Coast after the Revolution.
Where's Skid Mark? Here goes the F word.
Keep it up, Donnie. Somebody's going to say you're trying to defend one piece of ground.
What kind of clothes
You know, I've been listening for like an hour now to this conversation, and there's an element that, Joe, you're not even thinking about why Uzi does what he does.
He does what he was. He does what he does because he's trapped.
Hang on, as soon as dumbass Donnie ungees.
They're just going to stay home smoking weed. He'll be all right.
Morning,
What you guys are forgetting is those black swan events. You know, some of us have been through natural disasters and stuff like that. Is you know, when there's no power, I've been through that. There's no milk, there's no perishables, there's no electricity, you can't get gas. That's what you prepare for. If you've been through that a couple of times, man, you learn to stock all that crap up.
I'll tell you what,
to get off the damn coast where
everything goes to hell, you won't get in that Walmart to loot it because they're going to have the troops there guarding it, plus other federal agencies.
Florida, not very smart.
You better check that one out.
Yeah, Joe, and then your state is known for, you know, those E5 tornadoes that come in and take out a whole damn city, too, you know. It doesn't matter where you live. Natural disasters occur.
Natural disasters do occur, but if you're living on the coast of Florida or in the Atlantic there where hurricanes are known to come in at a reliable rate, you gotta wonder how much brain power you're bringing to this equation.
I'm going to change frequencies, guys.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah, good. Get the hell out of here. You've been nothing but corn with me for 20 minutes.
As far as I'm concerned, if you live on the coast and you get, or anywhere on Florida, I mean, just anywhere in Florida, I mean, that's like living in a tent.
Live in a mud hole, you're going to get
You know what, though, Joe? We had Hurricane Andrew down there hit Miami.
I don't care.
It was very confined to Miami. It didn't even affect Palm Beach. And we didn't have a direct hit for like 17 years. So it just happened, you know. And then suddenly we got like 3 in 14 months. And it wiped us out, you know. And I remember trying to find milk for the babies. So now I store powdered milk in the jars. I air seal it tight, you know, and it's good for you. It'll sit there.
Hey, let's go to Louisiana where the boats
I have that long-term storage food, you know. You just have it. And I'll tell you something else, too, Joe. Anywhere you're at, a natural disaster occurs, and you can't get food and milk for your babies, a man will go out and kill others to feed his family.
That's right. And when you it's not true, Joe.
Where a hurricane could hit you, you deserve everything that you get. Every damn thing. I mean, what did you do? Just wake up and realize a damn hurricane could hit you?
No, I've been doing it for 40 years, Joe. I don't live on the coast.
Right now. I'm talking about living on the damn coast of Florida.
I know you changed the goalpost.
Joe. I couldn't help that. You know, that's what I was born.
Get your head out of your ass and move.
Well, I did, Joe. I'm in the mountains of North Georgia where now, you know, we get single-digit temperatures. So I traded one for the other.
Government having to go down there and spend money because people don't have common sense.
That's right.
Joe, I was born
down with common sense, store food, and move off.
That's where I was born and grew up. I went to college down there. Now I'm in the mountains where it gets freaking cold and it gets single-digit numbers in the hills.
You keep making one mistake after another.
Yeah, I guess. Where do you want me to move, Joe? Where should I move that is so utopic that it never has an issue?
You can look at maps. You can see there's good data on natural disaster maps. There's good data on.
Oh, really?
And there's quite a bit of overlap.
There's really good data.
There's tons of overlap, Joe.
You're going to have to worry about no emergencies.
Are you with Joe? Hey, Joe, Joe, there is no place that's utopic in the United States. No place is utopic. As you try and get to one of these freaking Democrat cities, you got a chance of dying, okay? So, I don't know, I kind of like the hills. I like it here. Florida wasn't so bad. You just got to prepare for the storms, that's all. But what happens is, the stores get hit. They don't have any generator backup, you know. They can't get milk deliveries because of, you know, debris. And I went through that. So you know what? And by the way, there's no 911 when disasters occur. I don't know if people know this. You could be up in Illinois up there with an E5 tornado. It takes out your power lines. It takes out the cell towers. There's no 911. And your burglar alarms don't work. None of that crap works. You're on your own with a firearm sitting there in the middle of a room.
I heard San Francisco was utopic as long as you're doing what you want.
It's not fear-mongering, Joe. It's forward thinking.
Everybody ought to be afraid. You know why? When you're afraid, you need more fire. You need more police.
Why are we playing tapes in the middle of a conversation? That's some dumb bullshit right there.
You guys need to be afraid. You need to be afraid. You need more fire. You need more policemen. You need more guns. Be afraid, America. Be afraid.
I don't know.
I carry every day, Joe. as I can.
Boys, I'm buying stock in gun companies.
No, I carry every day because I can't predict where the crime's going to happen.
Oh, come on. Why are we playing dumbass tapes? See, there's some stupid shit right there. You volunteer monitors, FCC, you want to impress the rest of us? Go out there and get those guys and leave the guys alone to have legitimate conversation.
Hell yeah. Can't spending $1,000 per person.
Let's see. Hey, Hardrow, can you hear me?
Engineer to drive around God's creation.
I got to turn my power up, I guess, to get over the crap.
I don't want that. I don't want the federal government to hear you.
Let me turn my mic up a little bit. There we go. Let me turn the power up a little bit. There we go.
Hi, Joe. Are you the one playing it?
No, I'm not playing it. But
It's just stupid playing the tapes. I hate that. I really do. I hate tapes. I hate music. Anybody that spends that kind of money on gear just to play crap like that and act like assholes, man, I don't know. They need to be, I won't say hung, but, I don't know, maybe castrated.
No, they just don't have the intellectual horsepower to involve themselves in a productive conversation.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Uzi. Sounds like you cranked it up. Good job. You're getting over it.
Falls off the other way, it's cut off.
Amplifier, because even though he's a survivalist, he doesn't think he needs his amplifier.
Wait a minute. I had to go to the SDR up north. So that guy's down here, but as far as your amplifier being broke, I don't know, Joe. Aren't you some kind of engineer or something? Can't you fix that thing on the fly?
Can I fix what?
Let me change SDRs on the receiver.
And you know what? They say 7,200. They just degrade 7,200 every night down there.
It was wrecked last night. They were talking, half of them were talking on USB and half of them were talking on LSD. Same damn frequency.
Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The worst frequency on amateur radio right now is not 7,200. It's 3927.
But it's the same old players all the way around.
One of them's on 3927.
Here we go. All I got to do is just take off the headphones and listen in on the northern SDR.
Let us know how UFO's doing.
Yeah, I'm on the studio mic there with no headphones. That sound good, don't it?
That sounds good, FM.
Yeah, they're down here playing that stupid ass YouTube crap. Hey, Uzi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Reputation.
All right.
You're throwing 30 over 9 here.
I do. It's one thing when we get out here and we banter, we have these high-spirited discussions and stuff like that, and people don't like that. But you never hear them say a damn word about all the playing, the music playing, the frickin' tape playing. It's just stupid when we're trying to have a conversation. Even if people don't like the conversation, it's kind of stupid to play all that crap. You work hard to get your FCC license. You spend thousands of dollars to get on the air, all to do that. What a dumbass.
Yeah, well, they don't have the intellectual horsepower to involve themselves in a productive conversation. That's the problem.
Well, those that don't want to identify, those that want to do this are just cowards. They just want to add to the mix. They don't want to do the right thing. They just want to make
Yeah, I say that when people tell you got to leave the frequency. I tell people, you can do that on the old Yahoo chat rooms or any other thing like on Facebook and just block them, but you can't do that on amateur radio.
No, there's no port blocking.
The blocking is the spinning of the VFO. That's the blocking.
Well, anybody that would like to continue this in a rational manner, if you want to switch to upper sideband, I'll go there gladly.
Well, let's go. N1FM. I'll meet you there.
All right, N1UZI, QS1.
FM. Ongoing conversation. To arrive at the same time, so tell me.
Not go anywhere, Bruce.
Wow.
Doc, you're standing in lines waiting on FEMA food.
Exactly. I'm not going to be standing in line. I did enough standing in line in the military. I don't do it anymore.
I did that during the pandemic here in this Walmart when everything was closed, and they would let the people age 60 and over at 6:30 to 8:30 go in the store and shop at 25 at a time. And I said, never again.
Yeah, I wouldn't tolerate that either. It's stupid. It
sure is. Let me adjust my audio. My audio was hot. But there we go. Yeah, my audio was hot. I think that's better.
No, you're fine.
Well, hello. I don't get the mentality of a lot of people, but hey, you know what, Uzi? I've got several thousand rounds. I got a 22. I got 322 longs, okay, and I've got an AR-15 22 long. I've got 20,000 rounds of that 22, and the only reason I have that is so that if I feel like I want to go out and plink, I want to hit the steel plates on the property, I can do that and not worry about $1 a round on 5.56 or something, the way it's going now, so I don't waste my other AR-15 ammo. I just use a 22 just to plink to get it out of my system,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but 30 years ago, I bought 3 lifetimes worth of it.
Yeah.
When it was cheap, when it was like 3 cents a round.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah, I would love to do that. I think the cheapest I bought the 22 longs, it was probably about 13, 14 cents a round, and that wasn't that long ago.
Oh, man, that was way late.
I know, right? Hindsight, brother, hindsight.
Yeah,
I think I bought my first AR, actually. I never had an AR-15 until Sandy Hook. And the day after Sandy Hook, there was a gun show in Palm Beach, and I went out and got one. I've had that one. It's a Spikes Tactical. It's a pretty good AR.
Yeah, man. Anyone using I-11?
N1FM on the 11.
Well, there's a difference between being prepared and being a victim. And most people choose to be a victim because they don't have the fortitude to prepare themselves and put away, a little bit at a time and be prepared and not have the desire to stand in a government line, in a bread line. All you got to do is look back at the Depression. And people moved into the cities. They moved out of rural areas, and they thought the city was the answer. It wasn't the answer. That was the problem. People were lined up for a mile around the block 3 times to stand in line for a couple of slices of bread and a cup of coffee. Both of my parents lived through the Depression. They were kids and adults through the Depression, and there's a lot of life lessons to be learned from that.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I do things like, Uzi, I can sugar. If I got the airtight packets, I'll throw those in there. If not, I've got a sealer. I've got flour in the mason jars sealed. I've got yeast in the yellow packets. The yeast, they're airtight sealed because, as you know, oxygen's the killer of all food. So you airtight it, it'll stay forever, and I've done that. I've popped those open. I've made my own bread. Although artistically it's not as pretty as what a baker does it, but I can make the bread. So just little things like that. I've got the beans. If I see staples like, let's say there's Mueller's noodles, buy one get one free, I'll buy the 2. Right? Put the one in the pantry, take the other one, and put it in a mason jar and airtight it. And that's what I do, It's like those darn staples will stay for years.
Absolutely. Like I told Joe, I had to prepare so that if I was called away, for 3 weeks or a month, which I could have, easily been, as most people in any type of profession like that, public safety profession. there's no telling when you're going to get released and be able to go home, or if you could even get home.
That's right. We were on Alpha Bravo shifts in all the hurricanes, and there was one that just really destroyed our community. And so I was working the 12-hour shift, no electricity at the house. I sent the wife and kids over to my father-in-law's house who had power, and I sat there in the dark, and I rigged up a 400-watt power supply for my battery, ran the extension cord, and I had a 13-inch color TV, and I had a fan. I had the dog and an AR-15 in the dark because the idiots are out there knowing that burglar alarms don't work, and they're out there robbing houses because people have left their homes because of no power.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and in the middle of the summer, it stinks. You know, you can't take the stench that rises up in your home, you know, when it's 97 degrees outside in the daytime. It's unbearable. But I stayed there at night and just slept in a recliner. We did have water, though. I took a shower, and and then there was one time we didn't have the water, so I was showering at the PD. But you know, we did that. You know, how many times I can tell you during natural disasters we were Alpha Bravo, but we had to bring 3 days worth of clothing, secure our family, and then be prepared to stay at minimum 3 days. And they said minimum, and and you were ordered to do it. You didn't have a choice.
Yeah, most people have no concept of living a Spartan lifestyle. They'll perish in a week.
Yeah, I heard Joe when you said, what are you going to do when you run out of food? He said, I'll just lose weight. Yeah, okay, all right. That doesn't work when you're hungry.
Yeah, starvation is one of the most compelling things in the world. You'll kill somebody and cut their thighs off and strip their thighs off and throw it on a grill if you had to survive.
Can I tell you? I had a generator in Florida, and I had a generator up here in the old cabin. So now I'm stuck with 2 generators. I did get the 22 kilowatt. It's great. I got a 1,000-gallon tank in the ground. And what I did was I gave those 2 generators to my neighbors. And the reason I gave those to my neighbors, so they don't have an excuse when I'm the only one burning electricity, which has happened, that they don't have something to fire up and save their food, because that way they don't want to come over and borrow my freezer and store everything, right?
Yep.
So I gave the generators away. Now, I paid probably $400 or $500 for those generators each, and just gave, here guys, just make sure you fire it up once a month. You know, you got to change the oil every 24 hours during an event, and then you're good to go. You know, but yeah, I did that. I don't want them over at my house.
There you go. I used to. At the fire station, you know, people had the same attitude that Joe had. And they say, if something happens, I'm just coming to your house. Well, number one, you're not going to make it to my house, because I'm 55 miles away, and you'll probably be killed on the road on the way there. And second of all, you've got they had just as much means and knowledge after I, imparted all of my knowledge to them to plan accordingly. So what makes them think that they would be welcome with open arms when they roll up on my front porch?
Hey, you know what, Tom? Do you remember the show Doomsday Prepper?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, people laughed at that show. They thought those people were like just maniacs.
Yeah, they were.
I did see one guy that I thought was kind of off the wall, and he was actually a ham radio operator.
Yeah,
and he was out there doing running in place with his rifle and going to the left and going to the right. I thought it was kind of stupid. But anyway, but some of the ideas that those preppers have for those events, for either Swan events or Governor Tyranny or the Chinese with the balloons shutting, EMPs, all that crap, they actually know what they're talking about. And if you listen to how they prepare for that stuff, it's not a bad idea. Just do some minimal stuff, like canning food is so freaking easy. You could just do it. And hell, I even wax cheese. I'll see it when the block of cheese is on sale. I've got the cheese wax. I got the saucepan for it. I melt the cheese, and then it's already pasteurized, so I don't have to worry about anything going bad. So what I do is I just dip it multiple times. I let it dry. I can freeze it. I just rotate it once in a while because of the oils in the cheese. And I've got probably 8 or 9 blocks in my freezer where I've dipped the cheese.
Yeah, everybody thought doomsday preppers or preppers in general were pariahs. Now even the government releases information bulletins for people to be, somewhat minimally prepared. It's just insane. People have no concept. If you've got, if you have food, water, shelter, and security, that's all you basically need to survive something.
K4NWA.
Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was hoping you guys would be up here. I couldn't hear nothing down there. I off for lunch, and I heard you guys up here. Want to say good morning to you. Hope you're having a good morning. It's chaotic down there. Whoever that is down there playing the recording has got me between a 10 and 20 signals, so they got to be close to me. That's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah, they're just they're mentally unstable that just need to throw a monkey wrench into the works.
Yeah, I copy that. I got a phone call, guys. Well, good morning to you. I'll catch you another time. K4NWA.
All right. So, I like the suffix NWA.
Yeah,
it's
Negroes
like
with attitude.
National Wrestling Association. Anyway, good morning. Tom's in Kentucky. I'm down here in Georgia. So, anyway, no, you know what? When you talk about that, first of all, Joe doesn't see. He's never experienced that. He doesn't get it. So I think once let's God forbid there's an F5 tornado in Collinsville, right? And it happens up there where he's at. He's not immune to tornadic activity. And it'll wipe out a community. Just wipe it out. It'll shut that community off from the rest of the world, and the state's got to come in, then the federal government's got to come in, and then suddenly you're in the car lines getting the ice. You're, one guy's throwing the ice in your trunk. You just move in an assembly line, and then another one's handing you a box of FEMA food, MREs, and that's how you live, man. And you learn to ration also. You learn to ration stuff, but I mean, I was there handing out MREs in a county of 1.5 million people where we got wiped out.
Oh, yeah. I worked in a major city right connected to Boston, and they had a water main break, and, water was still available. There was still water coming out of the tap, but there was a boil water order. And people were fighting over cases of drinkable bottled water that the city was handing out. There were fist fights in a frickin' parking lot. They took a municipal parking lot that had an in and an out, an entrance and an exit, and people were fist fighting in line over water being handed out, and there was still tap water. They were too damn lazy or too damn stupid to throw 5 gallons or, 2 or 3 pots on the stove, which they still had natural gas and electricity to cook on, to boil enough water for them to drink, for the day. They didn't need it to shower. It was still, the water was still good enough to shower in, but that's how much the system or the mentality of people degraded over a simple boil water order.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, on the lower, that, a man, if he's got to feed his kids and there's nothing out there and he knows you've got something, or he'll go house to house and kill people to feed his children. I mean, that's the way it is, man. It's survival. And that's why, it's not that you're a gun nut. It's that, you like your guns. I like my guns. I've got a gun probably in every room in this house. I just do, that I've collected over the years. So, I just, I don't know. I don't have a whole bunch of guns, but I got one in every room. I got a couple ARs. That's it. I mean, I keep it simple, but I make sure I always have enough ammunition. Because one thing about the ammunition,
it's expendable.
And also, Tom, another thing you want to keep on stock is, believe it or not, the little $10 bottles of vodka. Little plastic vodka, because a man will trade a firearm, or he'll trade a box of ammo, or he'll trade anything. A hardcore alcoholic will trade anything for that of value, gold and stuff like that, just to have that bottle of vodka, because he can't get it because the stores are closed.
Oh, yeah. People will kill to support their vices, no doubt about it.
No, you know what, and I don't sit around and worry about it. But over time, like I'll say, okay, I'm in the liquor store, I'm buying some blackberry brandy. Oh yeah, I need a couple more bottles of the $9.99 plastic vodka. I'm not going to drink it. I store it in my storage room next to the ammo.
There you go. It's also a good antiseptic, and yeah, it's a good antiseptic.
I'm bunched up.
If
1,
you
2,
buy
3.
just straight grain alcohol, you can run a vehicle or a generator on it.
Goddamn son of a bitch.
Hey, Tom,
we
is
find
my
you
audio
your
bunched?
fucking ass
you're
has had it, you goddamn prick.
A bit too much compression.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even run. I hate compression. I don't even run compression. Let's see, what am I doing here? Hang on.
Between the eyes.
You're just real jammed up on the scope.
Who cares? Who cares? We're having a conversation.
Yeah, but look, here.
You going down, boy. You going down. Your tower's going down. Fuck you.
Okay, and then here, now I jumped over onto the other microphone. Did that open it up a little bit?
Yeah, you going down. You going down.
Still, you sound a little, I don't know, just a little bunched up.
They're just throwing a monkey wrench in the works.
Just a little bit, I don't know.
They're just throwing a wrench in the works.
We know where you live. We know where you're at. Come out of that house.
Don't know. Well, I don't usually talk on upper side either, so.
Yeah, come on out of that house. Come on out of that house.
That could be it.
So anyway.
You be going to Walmart, down to the grocery store out to eat.
Walmart
We'll
is
catch your ass.
not the all-in seer.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. It looks like the Quirmers have figured us out.
Yeah, the Walmart. You know what's going to happen to the Walmarts? They're going to have an 18-foot high fence put around them, and there'll be tanks in the driveway guarding the supply there.
Well, that's what they had here during the pandemic. When only, you had to show ID that you were 60 and over between the hours of 6:30 and 8 o'clock, and they had the local PD at the doors checking the ID.
Right. See, this is the concept that people don't understand. The word independence. Independent.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not dependent on someone else.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So my idea, let me back the drive down a little bit. My idea, Tom, is just be independent of anybody. If something breaks down, I can just shelter in place, and I can survive. And I've got my jars of food that I preserve. I've got my ammo. I've got emergency power that I can go almost a month and a half on 800 gallons. So, and then you conserve. Like for instance, if you run a generator in your house, you don't need 6 vanity lights in the bathroom to go piss at night. You only need 1. When you go to sleep, do you need to run your generator? No, you go out there and you shut it off. And that way you conserve your fuel for at least 6 hours of sleep. And then you get up and then you turn it on, and then you decide whether you want to run it during the day. I can control my generator from my cell phone. So that's a big plus. I don't know. I just, people don't think, and then what happens is then they're standing in the FEMA lines, and that's what, more people would think about what could happen on a Black Swan event. I think they would start stocking up.
Well, it's not only that. Even if you had 3 or 4 months worth of food, right, enough to get you through an off-season, an off-growing season, do you have seeds? Do you have the mentality to grow a garden and to replenish that food supply? Because once you break into your emergency stores, that's a finite amount of food. You have to have the ability to replenish it.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I've got the it's like, I don't know, several thousand seeds of hydrated seeds, and they're cryovac, they're sealed. So I've had those probably 10 years, Tom. I don't know if they're still effective or not, but it'd be worth a try just to go ahead and break that open, try and plant some food to see if it'll work, and then just buy some more.
Yeah, if it's 10 years old, I would try the viability of it. I planted some 7-year-old tomato plants and some 7-year-old another type of seed, and all of it germinated. Let's go to mine.
All right, I'll meet you there.
replace it. They're cheap enough.
Yep. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm probably going to put it build a box, a plant box, and try that. I got to get some soil and stuff. Well, that's the thing too. Like if you go to do that, you got to have the soil to do that. This is Georgia clay, so I'm not even sure if I could pull that off if I didn't have the proper food for it.
Well, what you need to do is start building up some small piles and amending that soil. Throw all your compost in there. Go out and gather some woods loam, pine needles, leaves, whatever else you have, and mix it in there. And start amending that stuff so you have some small patches of soil, built up so that you can distribute it into raised beds. Over.
Oh, for sure. Anyway, but some people just say, okay, well, when it happens, the government will be there to help me.
Yeah.
The government will be there in 3 days with the FEMA trucks.
Yeah, right. And you'll have to give up your firstborn child for an MRE.
What Ronald McDowell,
I've been there when we've unloaded semi-trailers that came in days later. It's like, I was up in the truck sliding the stuff down, and getting paid as a law enforcement officer. I was assigned to help unload those trucks. And let me tell you something, man. People were like, it was like The Walking Dead. There was probably 1,000 people that I saw backed up at the fence, and we could not let them in until we got those trucks unloaded and the product separated so that one guy's loading the ice up because it's in the middle of the summer, one guy's loading the FEMA boxes up, the other guy's slamming the truck, and the other guy's telling him, okay, you can go now. It took 4 people per car to load stuff up there in that event, in that disaster. So, but you're looking at them, and it just reminded me of The Walking Dead. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, Emlyn used the I-20, and think about the mental compulsion that those people have, and they talk about people that put some type of mental effort into preparedness. It's night and day difference.
Right. Okay, sounds good, man. Let's see. I've got to type out a couple of emails and stuff like that. So good talking to you. But for all you other people out there to think, you're going to be able to get to the supermarket, no, you won't. And if you got babies and you're a young ham, you're not going to get that perishable milk because they can't get it delivered there and they can't refrigerate it. So it's not happening. Anything that's perishable is not going to make it to the stores. Trust me when I tell you that. Be prepared, man. And and build those little stoves that you can put out there on the top of a fire. Get your pan out with a grill, and you can cook right out there with have your wood stored, man. Be ready to go. But and keep your powder dry and have lots of ammo. All right, Tom, I got to go, man. Anyone FM?
All right, they can't process you at the checkout line when there's no power. They just evacuate the store. They kick you out. 7 trees. Someone use your guy.
All right, see you later. Anyone have that?
Yeah, it's just a mass. That's right. A mass
Not much anymore, am I? No, you're doing he wants to get up, let him. You didn't hear nothing what you were
if you didn't hear it, then you want to hear it. All you got to do is go to YouTube. That's right.
Forget about it.
We're all gonna die.
That's right. And you can listen to all that noise on my Gauntlet channel. That's right. If you want to listen to all this noise, you can listen to it live on my UTC YouTube channel. America Trees, Golf, Foxtrot, Yankee, at YouTube. That's right, at YouTube.
I'd like to see that. Yeah, I look pretty good. I'm an air fire infrastructure and I have a stapler.
You don't sound like you're
Yeah, what's so funny about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? Tell us about that story with you and Joe Nate. Oh, he was mad. He was angry. Funny, Kevin. And in fact, you even threatened Joe Nate. You threatened to beat Joe Nate up. And that was funny as shit hearing Greg threaten to beat somebody up. And I see pictures of Greg on the internet. Yeah, that can happen. Greg's pretty good size to have youngin. Off the ground. Oh, no, I would not, Marty. I would not. You're probably and probably weigh what, 50 pounds? I'm 6'2". Well, Greg's probably 6'4". Probably a 6'4" person. He looks like one of them damn bodybuilders. He looks like one of them damn fat slops. I'm bored at night watching TV. That's not bad, Tom. You've not seen no pictures of him.
This is AC1DD.
Yeah. Scared of your ass. Yeah. You're scared of your ass. Well, what's this got to do with you and me? You're also 10 years old. You would have been damn, I'm 10 years older than Tom. I didn't know.
This is AC1DD practice.
Moonraker. Moonraker.
The ability to communicate under very adverse conditions.
Why would you want to share that? Why would you bring that up with me?
That's a skill. That's a skill that can be developed. This is AC1DD willing to communicate with other stations under adverse conditions. This is sort of a test. AC1DD. Well, thank you, loud and clear. Your location, over. Well, I guess I didn't communicate very well. This is AC1DD sharing the frequency as all amateur radio frequencies are shared.